here. Starting playing over here in the Lillehammer, Leute. It is now 30 minutes to start, 30 minutes to start the competition, and 8 minutes left.
Bist du jetzt Transgender?
Mhm.
Down, 3 subsails in curve 12 are down, and the whole curve 16 is covered.
Welcome back to Lillehammer in Norway, ready for the second and deciding run, race 6 of the IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. We are heading into the final stages of the World Cup season, and Lillehammer hosting 2 weekends of bobsleigh and skeleton racing. Skeleton finished up their World Cup campaigns yesterday, and the women's bobsleigh continues this week and next. So the first heat, we have a German lockout of the podium. In the bronze medal position at the moment, but a distance away from the top, is last year's 4th place finisher, Lisa Buchwitz. Well, Buchwitz, 23 hundredths off a tight lead battle. Just 8 hundredths of a second separate the top two. Kim Kalicki and Leonie Fiebig, last year's winners on this track, lie in 2nd place. But with the tiny margins between the top sleds, anything might be possible if Kalicki didn't look like she was carrying a bit of an injury. And that might leave the door open to Lara Nolte and new brakewoman Leonie Kluvig. Kluvig in only her 2nd World Cup start. She won on her debut, and Lara Nolte in her 40th World Cup race is well poised to take the win and to take her 4th European Championship gold medal. So the race is not just race 6 of the World Cup. There will only be 7. The race we lost in Samritz won't be made up. There's no time to do that. But it is also the European Championship. So the top 3, all Europeans, Nolte, Kalicki and Buchwitz. But at the moment, wait to see. Lisa Buchwitz is on the start, Kim Kalicki rather, is on the start list. Wait to see just how fit she actually is, ready for the start of the 2nd heat. Well, after the end of the first heat, crashes for Brianna Walker of Australia and Erica Voss of Canada mean that they do not go through into heat 2. But Lara Nolte warming up like everybody else, out in the sunshine, in the deep snow at the top of the track. An opportunity perhaps for Lisa Buchwitz to sneak in and grab a silver medal here. I think she's probably too far away from Lara Nolte to take the gold, but you can never tell. Alana Myers-Taylor battling with Keisha Love and her teammate Kaylee Humphries. Alana is currently in 6th position, but it is a very tight battle, effectively actually from 3rd place down. Sarah Blizzard of Australia will be first off, followed by Ying Qing of China, Victoria Chinanska of Slovakia. And as we work our way through the order, we go from 20th place in the first heat down to 1st place. And the leader always goes out last. (1994) Winter Olympic venue of Lillehammer in Norway, the penultimate race of the IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. It's Sarah Blizzard and Ashley Werner of Australia who get our 2nd heat underway. In 20th place after the first of the 2 runs. First time that Sarah's been in the 2nd heat in 3 races. Made the cut in the first 2 outings she had this season, missed in the last 2. First start 5:72, makes the same getaway here. Well, we had 2 crashes in the first heat. Hopefully everybody will be okay this time down. Little double tap between 4 and 5, straightens the sled back up for corner 5. Shades are coming down, it's a bright sunny day, so we'll see a little bit less of the track from the outside than before. Makes these remote cameras so handy. Into 13, the key corner. This is 10 and 11 out of 12. And this is where the incidents have happened. Brianna Walker crashed out of 13, and Erica Voss in the 10, 11, 12 complex. Sarah Blizzard safely across the line. There's a coach on the right, very nice. There you go, that's 10 out of 10. Tick from her coach. 53.38. We talked a number of times about athletes who have returned after having babies. So too has Anne van Nieuwenhuis. Gave birth to her daughter in towards the end of last year and had a new baby on tour, as well as all the other kids that she has to deal with, like the athletes. I'm not sure who's more trouble, to be honest. A nice looking run through 15, held the height well. So they're through, done and down, and let's see what comes up next. Well, they were 800ths behind this sled, Yingqing of China. Yingqing with Liu Chen behind her. See how cold it is, how wrapped up everybody is. Even with the sunshine, this is a proper cold St. Moritz type day. It's actually probably decent preparation for going to Lake Placid as well. That'll be serious minus numbers unless there's something very strange happening. 5:74 getaway, a couple of hundred slower than their first heat, so of their 800s, 600s remain. Yingqing still playing herself into full race fitness after missing the first half of the season, or first part of the season, it wasn't half. Nice looking run so far, but sliding around in the labyrinth, tail of the sled doing a lot of the driving. Ice is very hard and fast. Not a bad exit out of 13. And clean from 15 into 16, keeping the speed alive. 53.37, 900ths up. They came down 100th quicker than the Aussies. 800s in the first heat, just 100th in the second. It's like a mini Latvian team, really, isn't it? Only with Chinese athletes. Oh, she did not get in cleanly in the first run, did not get in cleanly in the second run. Not Andrea Grecu barely making it into the sled, not clean, but even so. And again, 12:13. Gonna have to really keep an eye out for that. If a four-man sled gets sideways like that, 13's not a long corner. There's not a lot of time to sort things out. So 2 down, 18 to go. Next up, Victoria Chinanska of Slovakia with Lucia Makrosova. They've competed together their entire World Cup season, or their entire World Cup careers. 15 races together now. Youth Olympic silver medalist in 2020. Raced here in the junior level, didn't race here last season. 5:71 getaway, they started 5:70 in the first heat. As everybody does, little tap between 4 and 5. Into the labyrinth. Sliding around in the labyrinth as well. Track has had a fresh spritz, probably feels very different from when she came out 18th in the run to coming out 3rd. Bright sunny day, always good for track speed as well. On 30.2 kilometers an hour. Across the line, Victoria Chinanska 6/10 up on Yingqing. That was Ying on the left-hand side. So 53.02, came down 53.17 in the first heat. 1500ths of a second quicker. Twice the time it takes to blink your eye. We talk about these as being big differences. It tells you how much this is a sport of marginal gains. So Victoria Chinanska is our race leader. Next up for Poland, Linda Wojciechowski and Klaudia Adamek. Klaudia, world-class sprinter, really bringing speed to the Polish programme. And good to see that the Polish men's programme has returned to the World Cup as well. 11th fastest start. They really do make a good getaway, but Linda could not handle that speed all the way down, and they ended up slipping down to 17th place. Let's see if she can keep it alive a little better in the second heat. And Claudia Adamek loads really nicely on the back handles, not like a sprinter who's only started bobsledding this season. Really gets in smoothly. 3,400s up on Vicky Chananska. And they ought to be starting 2,900s or 1,900s faster. Just a little late. The height is good. Speed isn't brilliant. And nearly falls out of 13 again. Getting onto these corners. A little later, a little faster. She needs to anticipate that speed a little better. 53.08. So 600s slower than Chananska, and survives by having been a 10th up in the first heat. Well, brakewoman Claudia has been a big addition to the team. And now Linda's going to have to really get used to arriving at corners quicker than she has previously, because she's late onto all of these, and as a result steering more than she would ideally do, and late exits always rob you of speed. Linda Wojciechowski leads for Poland. Our 5th sled out is from France-Monobob and Carla Seneschal. This twosome from the French Alps, who have learned to slide together and completed this journey up to World Cup and World Championship level together. 5:56, same as their first start. .500s up only on Linda Wojciechowski. And Margot had a bit of an un-Margot Bob drive in the first heat. She's normally so fluid and neat with her lines. This is a little better. The sled was skating around under her, I thought, a bit much in the first heat. It's the sled that Boris Vian races in for Monaco. Big Boris will be, visors open, will be in the 4-man race later today. Oh, that is chilling on the eyeballs. 53.10. Doing 75 miles an hour in sub-zero temperatures with no eye protection. She would have been half blind. I'm not sure when the visor didn't go down or if it snapped back up. See there, you can see the blue visor. And occasionally, when you get a big slap, the driver's head gets bounced against the cowl, and there you can see it's clearly wide open. And as well as the wind rushing into your eyes, also the visor is being caught by the wind. You know, you're doing 75 miles an hour. Try doing that on a motorcycle with the visor up. It's ripping your head off backwards. Yeah, something not locking into place. Carla's trying to help with this. Yeah, she's locked it down. Now it stays down. Margot Bock the leader after the first 5. Adele Nicol and Kaya Placide for Great Britain, 15th after the first of our 2 heats, or rather tied for 14th with Andreea Grecu of Romania. 5:61 is the start. Whisker quicker than their 5:62 of the first heat. They started faster than Margot Bock. They had a 100th of a second advantage, but that's already gone down to corner 6. Better speed though. Ooh, not comfortable at all in the labyrinth. Again, sled sliding around more than it should be underneath Adele Nicol. She's gone back to 400s back. Third best speed. 500s up. Second best speed, little wavy in 15. Should have the lead at the line. She does by 1700s, 52.94. That was great speed. So, fact fans, Sean Olsen, who is helping with the driver coaching here, and Bruno Mijon, who is helping with the driver coaching for France and Monaco, tied for Olympic bronze in the four-man in Nagano 98. And still in the sport over a quarter of a century later. Nice load from Kaya Placide. Big early height in 15. So they have the lead with 14 sleds to go. We had a tie for 14th, we had a tie for 12th, and some very close battles coming up. So the tie for 14th between Adele Nicol, Kaya Placide, and the Romanian duo Andreea Grecu and Teodora Vlad. Andrea, another former brakewoman turned driver. 17th World Cup start together. 27th World Cup start together. Second fastest start so far, 5:56. So 500s ahead of Adele Nicol from the start. Last year, Andrea raced to 13th place, and Adele was 16th. They met in the middle, tying for 14th after the first heat. The advance is tiny. The lead is the advantage, is tiny. Out of 13 neatly, but has she done too much? 500s up. Adele had the top speed, it's going to be very close. They might be tied at the line again, but they're not. 52.79 run for Andreea Grecu. She takes the lead. Julian Pacianu, the coach, happy with that one. Well, she gets into the sled slightly better this time. Still not ideal. That's two really difficult loads in a row. Looks like a different sled as well to the one that she's normally driving. But she has the lead. Andreea Grecu, former European silver medalist, not going to be in the medals this time, I don't think. So we get to the first of our 4 US sleds. Silva Hoffman and Bailey Golden. Bailey new to the program this season. Comes from Oklahoma State, a former heptathlete. Third World Cup start for the brakewoman. Sylvia, oh! Yeah, get in. Get in, get down. We saw the brake handle collapse as Brad Hall tried to leap in yesterday and trapped his finger, injured it quite nastily. And Sylvia Hoffman there very quickly recognising the potential for disaster and getting in. So 5:59 the start, not a 5:48 as in their first heat. Because of course she's not then pushing the sled, she's trying to haul herself in, which effectively is pulling it back. She had 500s in hand over Adele Nicol and Andreea Grecu, and that's a very hard exit out of 13. Here we some bruised hips after that. And again out of 15, across the line, 2200s down, 53.04, slips a couple of spots. But she did well to recover from that drama. The deal is there's a little pin, effectively, that goes through a hole in the handle, which holds it up, and then you push a tab and the pin pops back out. But it looks like the pin wasn't quite engaged all the way. Now, she's no longer pushing. She's figuring out, what am I going to do with this handle? Then she has to pull herself into the sled. She's not putting her full power in. She knows she's got to get in. Bailey Golden with her head down there, going like a racehorse in the back. Probably had no idea until she's just watched that replay. And again, when Andrea Greco nearly didn't get in the first heat, what would Bailey Golden have done? Pretty sure she's never driven a bobsled. She would have just had to tuck in and hope. So Kelly van Petegem and Genty de Cler, they were tied with Sylvia Hoffman and Bailey Golden in the first heat. So door is open for them to go for the lead and a 12th place finish. Kelly first out in the first heat. Has 5 Europe Cup races under her belt here. Didn't compete in last year's World Cup, but she knows the track. .400s up on Andrea Greco. As with Sylvia Hoffman, there was only 300s advantage after the first heat, and that has all but gone. Only the 6th best speed, Greco was quicker. 5th best speed. She does find speed at the bottom. Their BTC sled Ruby, but she's skidding it away here. Not going to be the leader. Might slip behind Adele Nickel and behind Sylvia Hoffman. Disappointing second run for the Belgians. I think Anne van Nieuwenhuis's face says it all, really. So what was going on? Again, was the sled driving from the back axle too much? Well, from 12 to 13, she wasn't as sideways of some we've seen. Having to drive it off 13, not too hard. Got a pretty decent exit, but again, that long drift. Sled filling the track, comes in on the wrong side of 14, and as a result has to drive left onto 14, which is a hard right-hander. And that robs you of speed as well. Oh well, that too is sport. So Andrea Greco has picked up 2 spots and is our leader as we get to Sylvia, sorry, beg your pardon, as we get to Cynthia Appiah and Skylar Sieben. So Skylar, another new push athlete joining the programme. 5.50 getaway. Started 5.52 in the first heat, so that's an improvement. Former hurdler and heptathlete Skylar Sieben from University of Arizona Wildcats. 1800s up. Cynthia Appiah gelling with the track finally yesterday, getting her best results of the Monobob season, finally in the top half dozen. This is looking like a better drive. This is looking like a better drive. She was 900s, I beg your pardon, 1200s in front of Andrea Greco in the first heat. She looks like she's about to double that. 3rd best speed, and across the line, 1800s up, 52.73. Well, she seems to be finding her feet on this track. Tidy exit out of 13. It's important for trying to preserve that speed. You know, really falling off there in all sorts of arms and elbows. And again in 15, not that big early spike we've seen from a few. And that's down to how you get into 14. So Cynthia Appiah is the leader from Andrea Greco and Adele Nickel. 10 down, 10 to go here in Lillehammer. So slightly shorter weekend in terms of racing action next weekend. After Skeleton finished their season, it will be a Saturday-Sunday weekend of racing. As is normal for bobsleigh, with monobob and two-man on the Saturday, and the women's bob and four-man on the Sunday. And earlier in the week, there will be Europe Cup racing, and that is why we are unable to spend, say, the Friday doing the make-up races for women's bob and for four-man from St. Moritz, the races that were lost because it was a little too warm in St. Moritz to race on the Sunday. And they needed some of these overnight temperatures. Okay. Little bit of collegiate wrestling practice going on there. That was a definite submission. So our Canadians, we're in the TV timeout break. You shouldn't be going to the girls in the leaders box. They're trying to get their breath back. A minute to go before the sleds are back on ice. You can see the runners are actually on the ice at the moment, but not in the start grooves. And Kaylee Humphries and Emily Renner. 30 seconds. Chris Folks giving them the heads up. And there's your Romanians, Teodora Vlad, Andrea Grecu with her back to us. Nice, beautiful sunny day. This is a stunning location. A really good racing track as well. And we are ready to restart our women's bobsleigh race. 10 down, 10 to go in Lillehammer, race 6 of the IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. 10th off the first of the two heats, Kaylee Humphries and Emily Renner for the USA. Second of 4 US sleds in the running, as we get to them in reverse order at least. So what can Humphries do on this track that she has never raced on in her career? A 5:55 getaway, 5:52 in the first heat. Kaylee learns fast, she responds well to a track that requires lots of input from the driver as well. She's not a glider, despite the fact that she started learning to drive in Calgary, which is one of the drivers' tracks, one of the gliders' tracks par excellence. Ooh, a little late, early height there. Good speed though for Kaylee Humphries, going to post herself into a top 10 finish. Looks like she's going to take a handy lead over Cynthia Appiah. Two worst performances this year have been 10th places, and she will be no worse than that. 52.76, Shauna Roebuck helping with the coaching in the US program as they head towards the Games. As they head towards the World Champs, getting a year ahead of myself. I'm sure Shauna will be very much involved with driver coaching heading into the Olympic Games in Cortina, Milano Cortina. A little bit of variation in line. Kaylee will start to finesse those with a little bit more practice during the week. Lots of studying of video. And that's the kind of revolution, being able to see the video immediately after the run that just didn't exist at the beginning of her career. Next up, Keisha Love and Lolo Jones. Lolo Jones returning this year, not just to sprinting in the summer, but to bobsledding in the winter. And apparently, she's still got speed in the legs. Third fastest start. Yes, she's got a great push athlete on the front handles, but you wouldn't be getting 5:41 with me on the back of the sled, let me tell you. 5:42 getaway. It's another strong start from the duo. It was a pretty loose run from Keisha Love. Nearly wrecked on the exit of 13. Little tap 4 to 5. Through corner 6, big 180-degree omega curve. To 7, 8, a little better in the labyrinth this time, I think. 2600s ahead of Kaylee Humphries. First heat lead was 700s. Only the 7th best speed though. She's fighting the sled, gets a decent exit out of 13. 2100s up. 8th best speed. She will have the lead over Kaylee, but not by much. 1500, so doubled her first heat advantage over Kaylee Humphries and Emily Renner. 52.68. 52.56 in the first heat. Nobody's gone quicker than their first heat so far. Keisha Love guarantees herself at least a 9th place finish. Not what she would have hoped for. The bronze medalist here last year, the gold medalist yesterday in the Monobob, tied for the gold with Brianna Walker. Kind of over-rotating there as Lolo Jones gets in behind her. So Keisha Love, Lolo Jones leading. We get to Melissa Lottholtz and Leah Walker-Known. No Bianca Ribby this weekend. That's why Erica Voss is here making her debut. So Melissa racing here for the very first time. She'll have been in learning everything she can from her coaches. Neither of whom have raced here either, but we're at least here watching last year. It's an uphill struggle. You're up against the very best drivers on the planet, on a track you've never seen, and most of them have seen it at least once. Many not more than once, but at least once. Creeping away from Keisha Love. She was 400s up in the first heat. She is now 400s up again. Keisha just out starting her by 300s. It's going to be tight again, out to 500s up. At fractionally better speed, I think, and across the line, 300s in it, 52.69. Lyndon Rush on the left in the white beanie and Justin Cripps on the right. The coaches for the Canadians. That's a happy Melissa Lottholtz, guaranteed at least an 8th place finish. Best result of the season, 7th in Altenburg. So her 2nd best result of the season. And don't forget, they will race again next week. Everybody else will have a week more knowledge, but she will have doubled her knowledge of the track by that stage. So there's a potential for improvement there as well. Hugs all round for the Canadians, getting the hugs off Skylar Sieben. Melissa Lottholtz leads, 7 to go. Next up, Melly Hasler and Nadia Pasternak. Nadia's 3rd World Cup back after a year away on maternity leave, having had her baby Noeli just before Christmas in 2023. Mel Hasler, European bronze medalist, I beg your pardon, silver medalist yesterday, finished in 4th place in the Monobob race. In and down in 5:41, excellent starting again. They were the 3rd fastest starters in the first heat. They have outstarted Keisha Love and Lolo Jones in the 2nd. 700s up, creeping away from Melissa Lottholtz. The gap after the first heat was 200s. No longer creeping away, gap's coming back down. Nice looking run so far though. Smooth out of 13. Is that going to add to her advantage? Not yet. No, speed's gone away. She may not have the lead in the line. Oh, she does. That's okay, says Melissa. 8th place will do. It's better than almost every other race this season, that's for sure. So, Melanie Hassler Melissa Lottholz out of the leaders box. Melanie Hassler moves in. So Mel Hassler will be top 6 in the European Championships, with Nadia Pasternak behind her. Of the remaining 6 sleds, only one, Alana Myers-Taylor, who's next up, is not a European nation. So there is a top 6 European Championship result, but probably no medal for Mel Hassler. So Alana Myers-Taylor has Jasmine Jones behind her today. Jones is all over the place again in the US team. Jasmine's 16th World Cup start, and Alana's 86th as a driver, her 101st World Cup race in women's bobsleigh. And that does not count her appearances in monobob either. 5.47 the getaway. So started the same in the first heat, top 10 starting. .800s behind Mel Hassler. Melissa Lottholz is 600s back at the line. Keisha Love 900s back at the line. So if she's barely more than a blink of an eye behind Melanie Hassler at the line, she will drop to 4th place. .500s. Creeping closer. Speed is better than Hassler, but not brilliant. No, doesn't get it at the line, but she is in 2nd. So it is a top 7 finish for Alana Myers-Taylor. Sixth, 11th and 12th in the first 3 races of the season, then 2 4th places. And after double monobob wins in St. Moritz, she was very disappointed not to be able to get into the women's bobsleigh race on Sunday at her favourite track. I think she had a great chance of another medal there. I think she believes she had everything it took to win it, but ifs, buts and maybes are part of sport as well. So Mel Hassler and Nadia Pasternak lead. Alana Myers-Taylor and Jasmine Jones are done for the day. They are in 2nd place with Melissa Lottholz in 3rd. 5 to go. And in the top 5, Deborah Annan and Mara Morell, the young driver and her experienced brakewoman. Mara's 14th World Cup start, 10 more than the driver. Now, Deborah Annan has 3 Europe Cup race outings on this track as well, so she's got a little bit of experience, probably as much as the front runners, more than Kaylee Humphries for sure, and Melissa Lottholz, but with a 5:51 start, losing a little bit of ground to Melly Hassler and Nadia Pasternak. They started a 10th quicker and were 500s back. So now Deborah Annan is going to have to outdrive her teammate to try and stay in the lead with 4 to go. Annan's previous best result, a 7th place finish, and that was in St. Moritz in the first weekend we were there. She's in the lead now. She's on the way to her best result in a women's bobsled. She is the leader with 4 to go. It is a top 5 finish for Deborah Annan. That's the way to do it. Seventh in St. Moritz. Her dad was there watching. And a top 5 for Mara Morell as well. Is that Mara's best World Cup result? It certainly is for Deborah Annan. 3 previous World Cups, 10th on her debut in Winterberg, 7th in St. Moritz, 14th in Innsbruck. She didn't race in Altenburg. Track, she says, is her favourite of all, because she's weird like that. She just loves it. but I think Lillehammer might be up there as well now. Deborah Annen leads for Switzerland. Next up, Katie Beil of Austria. Christania Williams of Jamaica is her brakewoman. Olympic silver medal sprinter from the 2016 Games in Rio. The same time that our race leader, Lara Nolte, or the same year that our race leader, Lara Nolte, was winning a youth Olympic gold here in Lillehammer. Isn't it funny how worlds collide? Katie Beil's lead over Deborah Annen from the first heat was 0.04 of a second. They started 5:43, so a faster getaway by 0.08. She's building that advantage. This is potentially a challenge for a medal, because Lisa Buchwitz in third was only 0.07 faster. Second best speed for Katie Beil. Could this be a very big day for Katie Beil? It was a huge day for Austrian skeleton with 2 European champions. Great run, 52.48. Yes, yes, yes. It'll be easy if you let your brakewoman get out before you try and drag the sled uphill. Well, 12 to 13 wasn't clean, and that cost her a little bit of speed in the bottom of the track. She had to haul it off 13, or haul it in and out. Well, that was a good drive from Austria's Katie Beil. And a 5:43 getaway, top 5 starting. She leads with 3 to go. Now, Lisa Buchwitz and Kira Lipperheider. Does Lisa smell blood in the water? Does she know that Kim Kilicki was limping as she got out of the sled? Lisa and Kira Lipperheider. Lisa in third place. Finished 4th last year. She's our reigning world champion. She's had a standout season. Push bar is in now. No panic, it didn't go in, it doesn't matter, can do it. 5:33, adding a 1/10 of a second to her advantage over Katie Beil. So 1700s as she sat down, out to 2300s. Sweeping through 6. Into the labyrinth, third best speed. Just gradually adding to that advantage. This is her challenge for moving up the order. She was 2300s off the lead in the first heat. It's a huge margin to try and reel back. It's a good effort though from Lisa Buchwitz. 8th best speed and she's nearly gone. Oh my Lord. I know. Really letting it fly. Lisa Buchwitz, look at the smiles at the bottom. Smiles of relief there. And there will be nervous laughter, because that's as close as you want to get. The problem, of course, is that she didn't crash, but it did drag a lot of speed out of the sled. Yikes. Lisa Marie. 2 to go then. Lisa Buchwitz leads from Katie Beil and Deborah Annen. Kim Kilicki, last year's race winner here with Leonie Fiebig. 800s out of gold. 1500s ahead of Lisa Buchwitz. But Kilicki was limping on her left ankle as she got out of the sled. They started 5th fastest. I was a little surprised it was only a 5:43. But maybe we understand why. She's going for it. She's got a couple of days off to recover before training starts again. And a 5:37, that's more like it. Magic sponge, bit of tape. So this is for gold. She's trying to reel in Lara Nolte, the first round lead. Oh, coming hard into the labyrinth. Now I've got the jitters now, I don't know about anybody else. 1300s up, creeping away from Lisa Buchwitz with the best speed of all. Is this going to be enough for a double race win in Lillehammer for Kim Kilicki? Can she repeat last year's victory? Not yesterday's victory, 52-23. Well, Lisa Buchwitz and Kira Lipper-Heider are out of the leaders' box. They will be no worse than European bronze medalists. And Lisa was the European bronze medalist in the mono as well. But it is, again, Kim Kilicki and Leni Fiebig who lead. Watching that back, you would not know that Kim Kilicki was limping as she got out of the sled after the first run. So, game on for the Youth Olympic champion in Lillehammer 2016, Lara Nolte. She returned with a bronze medal in the monobob yesterday, became the European champion in her 40th World Cup race, last year's silver medalist. Can she turn this into her 19th World Cup win? Our Olympic champion, our World Cup champion, three-time European champion. Is this gold number 4 in the Europeans? Is she going to win here in Lillehammer? 5:38, 700s up. They start just 100 slower than Kilicki and Fiebig. This is a near dead heat race. It is a one-shot wonder. If you get this wrong, you lose. If you get this right, you win. That's it. Third best speed. She still has 700s in hand. This is going to be tight. Right up to the moment where they get to the line. Third best speed. Is the gap coming down? It is. Kilicki was a whisker faster. Fifth best speed. Has she got enough in the tank? At the line! It's gold by 200ths of a second. Her 40th World Cup start, her 19th gold in the women's bobsleigh, and a 4-time European bobsleigh champion. Double European gold weekend for Lara Nolte. Monobob European champion yesterday, women's bob European champion today, and Leni Kluvig, her third race and her second gold. They needed the start, they got the start. And against a resurgent Kim Kilicki, it was never going to be easy. Kilicki won last year with Nolte in the silver medal position. But that is Nolte's 5th win of the season. And that now pushes her ever closer to the crystal globe. That will be decided next weekend, but she wins it here from Kim Kilicki by 200ths. Lisa Buchwitz ahead of Kati Bile for the bronze and a European bronze. Deborah Annen's best career result in 5th place ahead of teammate Mel Hasler, with Alana Myers-Taylor, Melissa Lottholtz, Keisha Love and Kaylee Humphries rounding out the top 10. So that is our finishing order. And there are your happy European champions and gold medalists here today. Absolutely full of it. And so they should be. 2 excellent drives, 2 great starts from the duo. Didn't quite get in. It's been a lot of that today. Is it just because their feet are cold? nice effort from Lauren Alter. In a sport of tiny margins, she won by just 0.02 of a second. And she increases her lead over Kim Kilicki. Lisa Buchwitz in third place. They are in the battle for the overall Crystal Globes, gold, silver and bronze. Mel Hasler's not going to get there unless Lisa Buchwitz misses the next couple of races. And that seems unlikely. A tie between Alana Myers-Taylor and Kaylee Humphries will be decided in the final race for supremacy in the US squad. And Keisha Love there in 7th place as well. What a season she has been having. And some of our newer, younger sliders having really good runs as well. Kelly van Petegem 13th, Deborah Annan 16th in the World Cup standings. And our European champions. So Lauren Alter and Leonie Kluvik, the European champions for 2025. And our Olympic gold medalist looks in fine form with one more race next week in Lillehammer. One for the monobob, one for women's bobsleigh before we head to the World Championships. Katy Barr 4th, Deborah Annan 5th, Mel Hasler 6th in the European Championship battle. Former silver medalist Andrea Grecu just out of the top half dozen ahead of Adele Nicol and Kelly van Petegem, with Margot Bock rounding out the top 10 in the European Championships. And that is it for women's bobsleigh for today, but we are not done with track action yet, because we come back with the four-man. That will be at 1300 local, 12 midday Greenwich Mean Time, 0700 Eastern, and that will be in 1 hour and 38 minutes. Don't miss it. If you think it's been good so far, the four-man should be an epic contest. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Ja.
Doch.
Ja.
Hier, guck mal, das kann man nochmal richten. Nee, andersrum.
Okay, here we go. Also das Team ist wirklich gut heute. Bist du zufrieden mit deiner dritte Platz?
Ja, sehr zufrieden. Wir sind Dritter im Weltcup, Dritter bei der Europameisterschaft, haben zweimal eine super Startzeit gehabt. Ich bin da super happy mit Kira. Ja, am Ende ist es bei meinen Fahrten gescheitert. Die waren nicht ganz so gut, aber ja, trotzdem dritter Platz ist super.
Ja, Kira, bist du zufrieden mit deinem Push?
Auf jeden Fall. Also ich glaube, der Startrekord war wieder nicht weit weg und wäre auch schön gewesen, hätten wir es heute geschafft. Aber manchmal soll es nicht sein, aber es war trotzdem auf jeden Fall eine sehr gute Leistung von uns.
Sehr wichtige Frage natürlich, bist du dabei im WM?
Das wird sich jetzt entscheiden.
Was denkst du, Lisa?
Ich hoffe, aber ich starte nächste Woche mit der Nele Shooten noch und dann wird sich herauskristallisieren, wer bei mir dann WM fährt.
Okay, gratuliere zum Podium, zum Europameisterschaft und bis zum nächsten Mal.
Ja, Dankeschön.
Tschüss.
Ciao.
Hast du sehr gut gemacht.
Ja. Ja. Kommt-ie. Also Laura und Leonie, ein Riesenerfolg heute. Europameister für die